Hello. I'm currently sick while filming this, but we're still gonna pull through because I really want to film this. So, hello. Wait, I need to see. I don't want to wear my glasses, but I need to check something real quick. Okay, we're fine. Um, hello guys. I am filming this on the first Monday ever of my post grad life. Yeah, I need a minute of silence for that. That's crazy. I'm finished university on Friday. I submitted everything. They're gonna email me my diploma. And then in August, I have an actual ceremony. But it's optional. I'm gonna go just because I really want to go. But apart from that, I don't really have to go to the ceremony. So because I will already have my diploma in with me, I am gonna go to the ceremony. But yeah, that's crazy. The fact that I'm generally done with university, it's insane to me. I don't think it's gonna hit me until the ceremony, or in September when I move permanently to a specific city, either Madrid or Barcelona. Because I am moving out of London in 2.5 weeks, but I'm going for 3 months to work in Madrid, and then I have two months of traveling and spending time with friends and family, and my graduation, and then September hopefully I move permanently to a place in an apartment with random people. Unless I find someone to live with in Madrid if I stay in Madrid. Or if I find someone to move in with in Barcelona. But I think random would be fun for me. I think it would be actually a good experience for me to go with random people. And worst case scenario, if I don't like it, I can always opt out and retry again. The world does not really end. But anyways, this is a little rant. Today's episode, I kind of want it to center around finishing uni. Obviously, it's a really big deal to me right now. Finishing uni, and also a recap of my uni years. I don't want to focus it too much on London because I am moving out of London in 2.5 weeks, and I want to do a whole reflective episode on that because it really, I think finishing uni, it's whatever for me because I knew it was gonna happen. I knew that I was going to accomplish this. It's kind of it was in my uni experience is very different from other people's uni experience. I never really had exams. I had a lot of presentations. I learned a lot. When it comes to business, I think it was the best trajectory to take. But if I was studying anything else, this would have not worked out for any other degree, to be honest, this studying method. But this studying method was nothing compared to what I had in high school, so I kind of breezed through it, and it was just to get the diploma, to get the degree, and eventually learn some basic skills, some networking skills when it comes to the business world. But I think when you study business, most of your hard skills, you learn them through internships and once you actually get on the job. Soft skills you learn by yourself. I think it's something that you have to develop by yourself throughout your uni years, and also with just learning more about yourself and how you work and developing yourself. But yeah, so I generally, it's not like, wow, oh my god, I can't believe I finished uni. It's like, I knew it was gonna happen. I just can't believe that it's so soon. I think the shocking part of this entire transitional period in my life is moving out of London, just because it was such a revolutionary place for me. Dealing with depressive symptoms in the beginning, wanted to get out, also drastic change between. I've always been born and raised by the sea. I've always been born and raised going to the beach every day. I've been born and raised wearing summer clothing 365 days of the year. I was born and raised going kayaking, going paddle, going paddleboarding, spending my weekends rollerblading by the beach. I was born that way, and I remember I would say I would generally feel really, really down whenever it's raining one of the days and the weather was really shitty, and I can't believe that that's my norm now. That I've grown to develop and not have it affect me so much. So I do want to focus the whole episode on that because when it comes to self-growth and building me and my personality. And especially Lucia from a year and a half ago is very different from Lucia today. When I think of the people that knew me back then, like a year and a half ago, and the important people to me a year and a half ago, or like 2 years ago, I don't think if they saw me now they would generally recognize me. I think they would be like, what the fuck? And I would feel odd as well because it feels like a completely different person, that Lucia. And that's good because that means that something has changed, you know? It means that I've worked on myself. It means that my environment has changed. It means that the people around me has changed. It means that I've done the work and the work has paid off, you know? And I like to think that I'm grown much more mature, much more respectful of myself, respectful of others, that I've learned to do a lot of things by myself. The solo trip to Portugal, I look back on that vlog all the time, and I look back to those videos all the time, and I realize how amazing. I mean, at the time I did feel good when I was in Portugal by myself, except the first 6 hours I was like genuinely scared out of my mind of solo traveling. But I genuinely want to go back. I want to do it again. It genuinely builds me so much as a person, and I can't believe that I did that. I know it seems very minimal to some people, but I can't believe that I generally put myself in that situation. And I learned so much about myself, and I could do so much. And I remember in the video, in the blog, I talked about how at the end of this experience, I'm always going to look back to this to showcase whenever I'm going through something hard, that if I was able to do this, I can overcome another hard thing in the future. And thinking about moving out of London by myself, carrying all those bags by myself in 2 weeks, and packing my entire life by myself right now, I think I generally look back to that solo trip and I'm like, I can do everything by myself. And that is amazing. The fact that I never felt alone once during that trip. And it's not that I'm feeling lonely with the whole moving out process, because I'm not. It's more like I know that it's a lot of work and I can't believe that I'm doing it by myself. Obviously everyone would like help. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, that is so empowering of me. Like, that is so amazing of me. And I'm very proud of myself, and I know I'm going to get it done. I say this while procrastinating doing it. That my plan for the next 2.5 weeks is to pack everything up. I do have a part-time job that I go to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. So I have things to do in the afternoon during those days, but the rest of the days in the mornings, I'm gonna focus on packing things up, dealing with some stuff of like cancellation of things that I have in London, like my Wi-Fi or my gym, saying goodbye to the city, going to places that I love, going on solo walks, really taking it in, everything that I did here. I have friends that are traveling right now because it's supposed to be reading week for people that are still in uni, but hopefully when they come back, spend like genuine good amount of time with loved ones before I move out, because I realized that there's a lot of people that I'll never live in the same country as them again, because I go to an international school. Most people are going back home, or they're going to different cities, or they're staying in London, and I'm not. The chances of us being in the same city is so low for so many people to just coordinate again. I don't think those friendships will ever be lost. I think one of the greatest strengths that I learned out of moving to London is that I am able to keep up with long distance friendships so well. I'm very proud of myself for that. Also identify like who's actually gonna stick by and who's actually gonna be able to not be able to visit me, but put in the effort to visit me, put in the effort to text me back, and vice versa, obviously. But yeah, I'm not really too worried. I'm sad that I won't see them as often, but I'm not really too worried that I'll never see them again. I'm already planning trips when I'm in Madrid to see them, or them coming to see me. So that won't be too sad, because it looks like we're all going to be staying around Europe. So that'll be nice. But apart from all this, so my uni years, I don't really have a lot of hardships of wow, it was so tough. Again, it was such an easy study method compared to my high school years. I just had a lot of presentations. I do think my presentation skills and my confidence built up. I will say, when it comes to presentations, I don't think I was bad at all at the beginning of my university experience, but I think and this is gonna sound crazy, I think talking to the camera for so young when I was in high school and I was doing YouTube videos builds me so much confidence when it comes to presenting. And also I use my hands a lot. You can tell a lot through the podcast. Like right now I'm not doing it because I'm very conscious that I do it a lot, but I move my hands a lot. I talk and I move my hands. And I realized that I did that because of when I used to film YouTube videos. I would do that. And it's crazy because that translated into my presentation skills. So when it comes to like professional presentations, and it's crazy how it's developed over the past 3 years in university, how yes, the hand movements are still there, but they're very minimal compared to the beginning, and I'm able to have more cohesive thoughts, and I'm able to be very, what's the word, there's a word for this, I can obviously I know the information beforehand, but I'm able to come up with things on the spot. I forgot the name for that, but there's a name for that, and it's very simple, but I can't remember it at this moment. But yeah, I think that's definitely built. Also, when it comes to building friendships, especially going to an international university, I've realized that I'm very, very happy with my university experience because not only have I made friends from different parts of the world, but at the same time I've learned to have such an open mindset, to be able to think more openly about what the future holds for me, and get inspired and learn so much from people from different backgrounds, and learn so much about other countries. I mean, I've already in Miami, again, it's very international, but it comes more to an international American experience. Not American, the United States of America. America as if like North America, South America, Central America, that type of aspect in the like that side of the world, because it's mostly international in that sense of like a lot of South Americans, and yeah, it's just mostly Latinos in Miami. So I already had an international mindset when it comes to that, but I never really had like an open world around international mindset. I feel like I learned a lot about especially Africa. I hadn't been exposed to too many people from different countries from Africa, or their background and the cultures within. There's so many countries that are in Africa, and I feel like I got generally very exposed to a lot of cultures from different African countries, and I'm very glad I had that. I mean, I don't think I would have ever had that if I stayed in the US, obviously, but also in Miami, I never really met anyone from Africa or any country in Africa. So yeah, I got exposed to a lot of people from that continent, and I got exposed to a lot of people from Asia as well, which I would have never been exposed to if I had stayed in the US again. Yeah, so when it comes to university, again, no hardships. I'd say this, it was so easy, guys. I sound so full of myself, like it's so easy. I had no complaints at all. But genuinely, I mean, obviously there's times of stress, but it really wasn't anything compared to high school. Like when I would get stressed, like this was my daily in high school, so it's fine. I think if anything, I learned how to be more disciplined with myself in times where I didn't need to be disciplined. And that's my problem now. I generally have no structure unless it's my part-time job 3 times of the week. I have no structure now. And I woke up this morning, and I normally wake up at 7 a.m. to journal, read, and then go to uni. I didn't have to do that. I heard my roommate leave for work, and I was like, wow, there's no way. I've never heard her leave for work because I always leave before her. And this is crazy. This is wild. And I generally don't know what to do with myself. I am sick, so I don't want to go to the gym because I don't want to make it worse because I do have to go to work tomorrow. But I don't know what to do with my time. It's crazy. I realized that even though I had a sense of structure, which was only like 3 hours of university in the morning, I still forced myself to have a structure within the rest of the day. And yeah, I can't believe that yeah. I'm able to have so much structure within my days just by myself, which is crazy. But yeah, so if anybody's going to university and they're just thinking about university in London, what it's like. I mean, I didn't have a regular university of like a British university experience, an American university experience, and I had a mini study abroad, not even because I'm American, but I had like a mini study abroad, which I went to the Boston campus for a summer, and I'm very glad I did that. I'm very, very happy I did Boston in the summer. I wouldn't have traded it for the world. I got to live in a new city in the US, and then at the same time, I was so alone but not lonely. And I think that's exactly what I mean by how I look back to Portugal. I was very alone. I mean, I had my best friend there, Regina, but she was very busy with other activities. And my friend Mia as well, she's very busy with other activities. And you can't rely on other people to be available to you 24/7. So there would be days and there would be activities I would be doing together throughout the week. But 99% of the time, if it was in class, I was alone, because people have their own lives, and it was a very empty campus. My university is very small. That's another thing. I went to a very small university, and I think it's like 1,200 per campus. Like, it's really not that big. So it was a very small university, and even in the summer it's even smaller. It was like 5 people for my class, and yeah, and it was mostly guys, and then it was me and my best friend because it was computer science, and she was busy with other stuff, and I had to build so much time by myself, and I built such a good routine where I'd wake up. It'd be Boston in the summer, so it was actually really nice weather, and I was so lucky that my campus was right in front of a huge park with beach chairs next to a really nice coffee shop, and I would bring my book and I would read in the sun and sunbathe every single morning until like lunchtime, make lunch at the dorm, and then in the afternoon take a solo bike ride around Boston. I got to know every single neighborhood in Boston by myself because I would generally explore different neighborhood in Boston by myself, and I would go biking there. It would take me like an hour, but I would go biking there, and I would love it because I learned so much about myself. I learned so much how to be alone. I learned to do things by myself. I learned to do every single activity by myself and not feel lonely. I generally, there would be times where I would feel lonely, but that was because of different factors. It wasn't because I was generally alone. I would do a full week by myself with just doing activities by myself, except going to class with my friend, and I wouldn't feel alone. I would feel so fulfilled. I would feel so content with myself. And I don't look at it as like a crazy wild experience, but I look at it as a moment of growth, a moment where I built myself up so much, and I was able to learn how to love spending time by myself. I had no other distractions. It was amazing. And when I look back to my first year of university, I think of it as the same. I went through having such a strong structure in high school and a very busy schedule to having only class 3 hours of the day, and I didn't have work at the time. I didn't have anything else to do. So I'd come back. I remember I had classes in the morning back then. I would come back from having classes in the morning, and I would prolong my lunch. I would cook so much first year because I had nothing to do, so I would do a very intensive cooking lunch, and then I would go to the gym for a very long time just to make time, and then I would just try to figure out ways to have things to do that would take up my time, because I generally had nothing to do, and I just wasn't going through the greatest moment and phase of my life, and yeah, and I wouldn't have changed it for the world. Was it mentally exhausting, and obviously was I not feeling my best? No. Would I ever want to feel that way again? No. But again, I was put in a similar position in Boston 2 years later, and I was able to make so much of it, and I didn't have any depressive symptoms. I didn't feel that at any point. I generally felt so empowered, and I was like, this is not a problem. I love it. And there's one thing that university has given me is independence and learning how to be by myself without feeling lonely. And I think that's one of the greatest life skills you could have ever developed, especially in your 20s. I saw a quote the other day that you'd have to be, what was it? I forgot. I don't remember the quote specifically, but it was basically just telling you how one of the biggest skills that you can grow in life is being alone without feeling lonely. And I think that's what university taught me, especially going through such an international university and going to different campuses and going to a huge city, coming from like a beach town. It generally built me so much to wow, I have to really figure life out by myself. I'm in a different side of the world as my entire family. And, the rest of my family, which I normally see once a year, they're like 5 hours away. And my parents, 9 hour away, 10 hour away flight, and very expensive flight, so I can't just go if I'm feeling really, really bad. And it built me so much independence and being alone. And yeah, I would say that I would have traded it for the world, and it's made me ready to face so many challenges in my life. And yeah, it's crazy to think that so much has changed in 3 years. That I remember the first day of university, I walked in and it was so different from what I was used to back at home, that I went to my computer and I looked to transfer to Miami-Dade College. My first year of university, I tried transferring to Miami-Dade College. I tried transferring to University of Florida. I was on the verge of taking 5 a.m. classes, like London time, online, to able to transfer to UF. And it was because of I generally think it was because of the shock, and I wasn't giving London a chance at the beginning, but at the same time it was because of other factors. Very toxic relationship, and I was trying to fix a situation that wasn't meant to be fixed, with myself and with other people around me. And yeah, I'm so glad I didn't do that. I'm so glad it didn't happen. But it's crazy to think that I got put in such an uncomfortable place first year, and I was able to come out, and then a couple of years later I got put in an uncomfortable place again, and I was able to pull through so easily and so wisely. I don't know if wisely would be the word, but just so worry less, I didn't break down a single point in Boston. I took it like a champ. I also, I took London, there were certain points that it just wasn't the greatest because of other life moments, and I took it like a champ as well. And, I lived with a rat second year of university. Let's not forget that. I did live with a rat named Remy for like 6 months, and I got money from the UK government for that. I had to fight my landlord and claim it to the UK government for that. I genuinely, I think I deserve a medal from that experience. I also had a shower on the second year of university that was leaking down water and grew mold near my kitchen. And I also lived with that for another 6 months, and I had to shower in my roommate's shower, which was inside of her room. Poor woman, I feel so bad for her. And yeah, this year my flat has been amazing. I get really nice natural sunlight, and it's really well located, and it's even cheaper than last year's. It's just I need to figure out someone to move in here. If anybody wants to move to the Spitalfields area of London, 2 bedroom flat anytime soon, please let me know, because I'm trying to sublet it really, really hard. I'm contacting people every single day. That's like my part-time job right now. But yeah, so I know this wasn't really cohesive, this entire episode. I think it was just me ranting about my thoughts on finishing university and being a little bit nostalgic about it. I do want to go through a timeline of London in next episode and provide pictures and generally go through a very detailed explanation on how I got here and my experience, and if I would recommend anyone moving here at such a young age, and also for university. But long story short, absolutely amazing experience. I wouldn't have traded it for the world. I'm so glad I went to university here. I'm so glad I did this, because I don't think I would have grown this much if I had stayed in Florida. I don't think I would have stayed with a very small mindset. I think I would have high school Lucia wouldn't have really developed. I think I would have stayed pretty much the same as my high school self. I don't think I would have been so resilient. I don't think I would have grown so much and had so much independence if I had stayed in Florida. Yeah, and I'm so glad things worked out this way. The day that I said yes to go into Holt, I was on the verge of tears because I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to university in London. I didn't want to go. I wanted to go to California, or I wanted to be with my ex-boyfriend in Florida. I didn't want to go, but part of me was like, you applied to this for a reason. This is what you wanted from the beginning. You're gonna say yes, and you're gonna have to pull through, and you're gonna make the best out of it. Did I resist the first year? Yes, I did. But once I stopped resisting and I just let go and I went with the flow, my quote for this year, go with the flow, everything just worked out for the better. And I'm so glad it did. And I would have changed it for the world. So, yeah. If you're thinking about moving to the other side of the world by yourself right after high school, I highly recommend it. Will it be hard? Yes. Will you feel down every single time you take a flight back? Yes. Will you feel guilty at times that you did that to loved ones? Yes. But will it be worth it, and will it grow, and will you be challenged, and would you want to do more things after it? 100%. So, again, if it were for me, I would say just do it. I basically just quoted Nike. Okay, so this is today's episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys.